Welcome to the first 20 days of reading, day 7. Mrs. Gill here with you today.
Can you guys believe it's day 7 already? Today we're going to be talking about how to use your reader voice to determine what genre you're reading. But it's okay if you don't know what genre is yet, because I'm going to teach you. But first, before we get started, what I want you guys to do is look at the 2 books I'm going to show you and see what you notice about them. I noticed that one has real pictures, like photographs, and I noticed that one uses illustrations. That's one big difference I notice. What do you notice?
I know what you're thinking. You just said we would talk about genres, Miss Gill. But first, let's take a look at how to preview a book again. Remember, this is what we do before we start reading the text we've chosen. When we preview, we check out the title, the back of the book, and even read a little from the middle, determining if this book will be just right and if it will hold our interest, so hopefully we do not abandon it like Miss Yop talked about yesterday. When previewing, the last step is to think about the genre of the text you have chosen to preview. I wonder how many of you already know what the word genre means. Genre means category or kind or type. If anyone has ever asked you, what's your favorite type of music? They are asking you, what is your favorite genre of music? Maybe your favorite genre of music is pop or rap or country or bluegrass. We even put movies into genres such as family, action, comedy, drama, or thriller. Identifying the genre of your text is a lot like figuring out the genre or kind of movie you are watching. There are 2 main genres that we are going to start with today. They are fiction and nonfiction. One thing I want you to notice is that both words have the word fiction in them. Fiction actually means fake or false. This will help you determine the difference between the 2 major genres. Let's take a deeper look. Let's take a look first at fiction. An example that we've already read is The Dot. The Dot is a story that was not real. It was fake or false. The author, Peter H. Reynolds, had an idea and wrote this story. Vashti and her teacher talked to each other. When characters talk, we call this dialogue. That only happens in fiction. In order to make sense of the story, we had to start at the beginning of the book. We could not just open the book on any page and start reading. We would have been so confused if we started at the end when Vashti's dots were on display at the art show. Our book had illustrations or pictures that someone drew or painted to show us what the characters looked like and what was happening in the story. Last, there were story elements that only happen in fiction, such as characters. Our characters were Vashti and her art teacher and the little boy at the end of the story. The setting is where our story took place, mostly at school, in art class, and at the art show. The problem in the story, if you remember, was that Vashti was so frustrated because she didn't think she was any good at creating art in her art class. The solution was that the teacher hung Vashti's dot in a beautiful frame, giving her the confidence to keep trying to improve the dot that she had originally created, until she had created many works of art and was no longer frustrated, but so proud to where she started teaching others. The pictures are usually illustrations in fiction. On this slide, you'll see several examples. You can tell by the covers that each of these books have characters, whether they're animals or kids or babies or 3rd graders like you. Now, let's take a look at nonfiction. Nonfiction books are real. Nonfiction literally means not fake, which is why we say that nonfiction books are real. Nonfiction books are about real things like sharks, weather, animals, rocks, plants, planets. Your science and history books are nonfiction because they're full of true information and facts. Magazines and newspapers are nonfiction. Nonfiction books are made up of facts, like this book about sharks. Nonfiction books can be read in any order, meaning you could skip to page 5, and if you do that, you may learn about the teeth of the shark. And if you jump to page 10, you may learn more information about how the shark swims. And on page 12, you may learn about where the shark lives. Nonfiction text includes photographs like the one you see of this fierce shark. Nonfiction books also give information through diagrams with labels, charts, or graphs. At the beginning of a nonfiction book, you will find a table of contents to help you figure out how the book is arranged by chapters or subjects. Most of the time, nonfiction books contain other text features that we'll talk about later this year, such as an index that lists topics in the back of the book so you can easily locate them, or a glossary where it lists important words that are bolded and highlighted and what they mean. It's like a mini dictionary. The images included in these nonfiction books are typically photographs. The information is always true or factual. Sometimes you will see labels or diagrams like you see in the upper right-hand corner on the Kids Scoop newspaper article about tornadoes.
Today, I want to challenge you to find a fiction text and a nonfiction text throughout your home. Compare them, see what you think they have alike, and see what's totally different. Here are the two that I found from our family. The first one is cooking class. This was written to teach us how to cook. It gives us, the reader, awesome recipes. So the author's purpose for writing this book is to share how to cook super sliders specifically on this page. Yum. Another nonfiction text that we use in our family, the best easy day hikes on the Blue Ridge Parkway. We have another one that is the best day hikes to do with a dog. Here it lists top trails, where they're located, the difficulty, the length, and a summary about what you'll find along the way. Now, the opposite fiction, two that I've chosen to share with you today, are I Wish for You, an adoption story by Marianne Richmond, and The Heaven of Animals by Nancy Tillman. Miss Morley actually gave me this one. So these are both written to share a very heartwarming story with the reader. Good luck!